A very good day to everybody. I am Dr. Nalini Mishra from Department of Education, Khwaja Mainuddin Chishti Language University. In my previous lectures, I have taken lectures on micro teaching and teaching skills. Today in my lecture, I'll be dealing with skill of questioning. As I had already said, I'll be taking these skills one by one, which is very useful for B.Ed students. Skill of questioning. Let us start with the importance of teaching skills, especially the skill of questioning. Teaching skills are very important for a teacher when they enter a classroom. Skill of questioning, as far as this skill is concerned, skill of questioning is concerned, since the ancient times, the teachers have been using these skills to teach their disciples. In the ashrams also, in the Gurukul system when it was there, the gurus used to teach the disciples through this questioning skill. They used to interact with them, and for instructional purposes, this skill was very much used. In the modern times, when there is much scientific and technological advancement, this skill has not lost its significance. It is still very important, because when we are teaching with the help of technology, and when we are using scientific tools and other technologies in classrooms, we don't get much chance to interact with our students. It is this skill, the skill of questioning, that makes it possible that we interact with our students properly and in a very effective manner. Through this skill, we can easily get to know the interest, the attitudes, the aptitudes of our students, the entry behavior, that is the previous knowledge of the students, we can check through this skill. So we can develop our instruction on the basis of the knowledge that we get through this questioning skill. During the presentation time also, when we are presenting our content, we can interact with the students so that they don't lose their attention and they become very alert. So it is very important throughout our classroom process in which we are doing our teaching learning. It is very important because in this situation, if the students are losing their interest at any point of time, definitely they won't be getting that knowledge, and we won't be able to achieve those objectives as a teacher that we wanted to achieve before entering the class. So this skill is very important for a teacher. Let us take a definition of questioning skill. It says, one of a definition which is very concise and precise, I'll say, it is: questioning skill may be defined as a teaching skill helpful in putting the desired, meaningful, clear and concise, grammatically correct, simple and quite straightforward questions to the students in a classroom teaching learning situation for the purpose of drawing their attention to the teaching points. So this definition is making it very clear that it is very useful for a teacher to have effective teaching, and very important for a learner so that his learning is very effective. So without this skill, our students who are doing B.Ed, they won't be able to practice their lesson plans properly. They must be equipped with this skill, and they can learn this skill through the micro teaching cycle that I have already taught about in my previous lecture. In the micro teaching cycle, they'll take up this skill and they'll practice it until and unless they are doing it perfectly. They would be repeating that cycle many times. So this skill is very important for them before entering the class, as I've already said. There are many elements or components related to this skill that they should know, because the theoretical knowledge before practicing any skill is very important. The elements that belong to this questioning skill are related to the framing of questions. The first one is relevancy. The questions that are being framed by a student teacher or a teacher in a classroom must be very relevant to the content that has to be taught to the students. The irrelevant questions that are raised by a teacher or a student teacher in a classroom will divert the attention of the students towards other content that is not very relevant for the learning situation, that will interfere and hinder in the proper learning of the students. So this has to be taken care of, that relevant questions should be asked from the students. The second is clarity of speech and clarity of question raised by the clarity of the language of the questions raised by the teacher is very important. The questions should be very clear, grammatically correct when they are being raised to the students, so that they don't give any vague answers to those questions. The clarity of speech of a teacher is equally important. The loudness of speech of a teacher is equally important. And the language and the clarity and the framing of the question related to clarity of question is very important. So these are the aspects without which a good question cannot be asked from a student, and a good question will definitely lead a teacher towards the right direction and the learners towards the right direction of learning. The third one is precision or conciseness. The questions should be very precise and concise in their manner. Like, for example, if we have to ask which Mughal emperor constructed the Red Fort, if we raise this question like who constructed the Red Fort, this is not that precise and concise mannered question that it should be. When we are asking it more precisely, we are saying which Mughal emperor constructed the Red Fort. So this will have a specific answer, which is very important for a teacher to get the specific answers from the students, because there are many students in the class, and when as a teacher you fail in your job, the students will take the opportunity and may lead to some different directions and indiscipline in the class. So precise and concise questions which are giving the exact answers that a teacher is expecting, such questions should be asked from the students. Then there is grammatically correct questions. This is also a very important component of the questioning skill. Grammatically correct questions should be asked so that you get proper answers to your questions. This is very important. Then how these questions should be presented in the class. We will be going through this, how these questions should be presented in the class. The first thing is voice of the teacher. I have already said that the voice of the teacher is very important. It should be loud, it should be clear, and it should be audible to all the students. The students sitting on the last bench, even he should be able to hear your voice very clearly as the first seat benchers are listening. So voice of the teacher is very important, because when you are raising questions and the last boy is not, or the last student or the last girl is not able to hear your question, of course the intent of asking questions won't be achieved. All the questions which are being asked by the teacher, all of them should be heard by all the students, and whether they get opportunity to answer or not, because you won't be asking all your students, of course you will be asking randomly to your students. So but at least they should be audible to all the students, so that your learning motive, your learning objectives are achieved. They all listen to that question, they all hear that question, and then they hear the answers also to those questions. So when they are getting those questions and answers, the way you have framed them, the way you have planned them, the way you have organized them, then definitely your objective will be achieved, when each and every learner of the class is able to hear your question. Next is speed and pause. This is very important part when you are presenting your questions to the whole class. Speed and pause. With how much speed will you raise your question, and how much time will you give your students to respond? This is very important for a teacher to decide. It should not be very fast and it should not be very slow also. You have to decide the optimal speed, the speed in which your questions will be asked and all students hear it. Then when the students are ready to answer it, they are raising their hands, and when you are asking them, so a given pause, a given time of pause you should be there, so that the students are able to, when they hear that question, they are able to frame the answers in their mind, and then they are able to respond. So this time frame has to be decided by the teacher, where he has to speed up his question, where he has to take the pauses, how much time he has to give to his students, to so that ease may be given to the students to answer, and the proper learning environment is maintained. So this is also very important. Then the third important point in this presentation of questions to the class is distribution of questions. As I said, that voice is very important. Even the last boy, last girl sitting on the last bench is able to hear your question, and you are able to take answers from him or her. The distribution of questions is also very important. You must distribute your question to the whole class. It is not like the students who are answering your questions, you are asking questions only to them as a teacher, because you want your answers to come. If you are doing this thing in your class, then some of the students will become very passive and you will be losing your intent of questioning. So the students must be knowing that they may be asked the questions anytime, at any point of time. The teacher may ask them to answer the or respond to their questions, and whether they are raising their hands or not. So this kind of environment where a student who is raising his hand or her hand is also being asked to respond, and the students who is not raising his or her hand may also be asked to respond. This type of environment should be maintained in the class by a teacher, and distribution of questions should be very proper. The whole class should feel that any time this question may be asked to them and they may be asked to answer. If this is done, they definitely they will be very attentive in your class, and your teaching learning situation will be going very proper. Teacher behavior, this is the fourth point, which is also very important. A teacher behavior in a class is very important. How you present your questions, how smoothly you are conducting your lectures, how smoothly and how fluently you are asking questions to them, how the responses that you are getting, you are managing those responses towards the right direction. All this is very important for a teacher when he is using this skill. So this skill, I've told you the components and the important points that should be taken care of by a teacher when he is doing this teaching in his class. And this questioning skill is making his teaching learning situations very effective when he is equipped with this skill properly. So practicing of this skill before entering a class as a student teacher, or using this skill by a teacher in his classroom for effective lecture or effective teaching is very important. With this, I close this lecture. In my next lecture, I'll be taking another skill which will be having significance for the teaching learning situations. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you all.